A question answer because I got a few questions in my comments that I haven't gotten a chance to address, I suppose. But something else came up, something else a lot more, I would say disturbing in a way, or just something I really wanted to talk about. So I'm not sure if I'm even gonna do the Q&A today, or if I'm just gonna go right into talking about this issue, this topic basically, which is about messy divorces, messy public divorces. And I'm not just talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, even though that's kind of within the scope of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So, since my kids are sleeping right now, I have a chance to really dive deep into these things. So, as most of you know, I mean, we all imagine that, we always imagine that if it's us going through a divorce, if we were in that position, that it's going to, be seamless. You're just gonna, you know, um, be cordial about it and, come to an agreement and move on type of thing. But that's almost never how it works. People get a lot of emotions twisted into it, a lot of using almost like creating their own narratives at that point to justify the way they're feeling and also to justify how they're treating their soon to be ex partner. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was about to start this live and then I ran into Cora Obedi's video that she just posted an hour ago, her live. And basically, it's titled Last Warning, Silence Was Golden, Now It Is Over. So basically, it says you have 24 hours to respond. So basically, her obviously and her used to be husband are going through a very messy divorce. Um, and she accidentally, trying to find a better position here because my ring light is broken, guys. So she accidentally put some money in her PayPal account and forgot that it's still linked to her their joint account. So that money was meant to be for rent and for her to take care of her kids, which she's doing mostly by herself. And she lets him see the kids when he wants to see the kids, that sort of thing. And basically, from what I'm getting, he realized that there's $5,000 in the account, 5,000 US dollars, and deposited into his own personal account. So he withdrew it from the PayPal and deposited into his account. And of course, this will be aggravating for anybody to wake up and realize that all the money that you work for, all the money you put aside to pay rent is now gone. So, I mean, I'm not here to accuse anyone or anything, but I do know that divorces can get really, really nasty. And depending on who you're dealing with, too, some people have narcissistic tendencies. And trust me from experience, it gets it can get really messy. But I just wanted to say, I think I think just coming from a place, I'm just talking from the outside here. Okay, from the outside. I'm not in the situation, so I'm not emotional. And I understand the emotion. I understand why she's now decided to speak up about everything. But I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, I don't think that, it's a good idea to necessarily, start speaking and spilling the beans now. Like Cora, you've been quiet for so long already, and he's tried. all sorts of methods to tarnish your reputation. And for some people believe it, but I think the people that really, really do understand you and support you are not buying any of that nonsense. And your following is growing, so clearly you're doing something right. And I'm just saying, he wanted that reaction. I feel like he really wanted that reaction where you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna fight back, right? The video's up there for those of you who want to see it. I'm not really gonna. Is there any point of me even playing it right now? I really don't think so. I mean, hi guys, good evening. Welcome to my live. Maybe I could just play a clip. I don't know if it's even necessary. This I did not want to speak about like divorce in public. It was a decision I made knowing that the internet never forgets, and considering and putting my children first and not putting my need to clean things out first, considering my family. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to adjust. Having the need to come and justify myself in public, let's put it at that. But at this juncture, I have no choice but to do what I'm doing right now. I've been working my face off, because I've just gotten my first lawyer's bill. It's outrageous. Do you guys know how much a lawyer costs? I did not envisage that I would be paying lawyer fees in LA. I have gotten a lot of bills, my rent, my car note, everything, no problem. I don't like to come on here. I just do what I have to do for my kids and for myself. But at this juncture, being quiet is not helping me at all. It's not helping me at all. And I cannot continue being quiet. I'm not going to be quiet anymore. I'm just going to have to say this. Today, Justin Dean, I sent mistakenly to the joint account, that was the only account I had in America for 3 years until I opened my own personal account. He telling me I didn't need an account, I don't need any account, until one day he came home and told me, get out of the house and empty the account. I had nothing. That's when I knew I had to open my account. He, mommy, it's a football. It's a football. Okay. Justin went in the joint account. I had mistakenly sent $5,000 there for rent and a bunch of, I sent it from my PayPal. I didn't know that the account linked to the PayPal was still the joint account. He emptied the account, and he has downright stolen from me. This is daylight robbery. We're separated, and he has stolen from me and my girls blatantly. I've messaged him, hey, can you please return this money that you have stolen from me and my girls? And he said, trying to accuse me of stealing his gold or whatever. I don't know what he's talking about, but he just stole $5,000 from I and my girls. We have lawyer fees, we have rent to pay. At this point, he wants us to be homeless. At this point, what he wants is for us to be homeless. So yeah. So basically it's kind of heartbreaking. It's kind of heartbreaking to watch, to be honest with you, because I mean, what can you say? It's I'm trying to gather words to say about this. I mean, I just don't see how people can defend this kind of behavior, even if you take sides and you prefer whatever her ex or whatever. I mean, just taking that money, it's just, I mean, being a single parent is hard. I was raised by a single parent, so I can tell you from experience. One of the biggest stressors being a single parent is trying to figure out how to keep paying the rent and not get an eviction notice. That is one of the biggest stressors that I have experienced my mom go through as a single parent. How to keep paying the rent, because if you're a single parent, if you get sick, it's on you. You can't, sometimes you can't even call in sick at work because you got to make the rent. You got to make the rent. So I feel like as messy as divorces get, I feel like there's just like a line, and that was just like below, really, really below the belt. I'm not sure. I have an idea why, Justin might feel entitled to her money because maybe he thinks, because he helped her um create her following or page or whatever, with the videos, or I guess he was a part of it, that he's entitled to some kind of amount of money. And he's also under the impression that she's a millionaire, which is said, in his own life, um, that yeah, that she's a millionaire. So maybe he thinks he's entitled to some kind of compensation, but it's not for him to enforce that justice. Like he said, the court, the judge is the one who will decide who gets what. It's really unfair to, obviously he knew it was a mistake, because you just wake up and you find $5,000 in your joint account. You didn't put it there, so obviously, you know, your used to be wife is the one that put it there. Like there's no confusion there. But then for you to decide to take it, it's a very vindictive thing, and it shows that he does feel entitled to her money to some degree, to her success to some degree. I think he feels like he is owed something for, I guess, being married to her and supporting her. But that's just what husbands do. That's what wives do. We support each other. Right now, my husband's military. He's deployed right now, and I'm supporting him by staying home and taking care of our kids. That's just what we do. Okay, if I'm entitled to anything, the courts will decide that. It's not up to me to decide to be judge, to be the judge and go into the account, or if we have a joint account, to go into the joint account and take whatever's in there, or take all of it, or take half or whatever. That's not, it's not, you know, uh, these things are messy. Public divorces are just, I think, the worst to go through, but I just wish I could tell Cora, like, to just hang in there. Hang in there. Don't say anything in public that might end up biting you back in the back in court. I know it's draining, it's exhausting, it's heartbreaking to be going through this, dealing with, a narcissistic individual who's out to just pretty much tear you down, pretty much tear you down. But his day will come. His day will come. And I feel like you can still fight. You can still fight, but sometimes, I know you're probably getting advice, a lot of different opinions. I'm just saying my opinion. I think you can still fight with silence. It was a powerful thing that you used at the beginning, something that a lot of people commended you for. You you can still fight with silence. Let their Don't give him ammunition to be able to use in court. Don't give him receipts. Don't give him receipts. Like, we say in the Black community, I got receipts. Don't give him receipts to be able to use against you in court. If he wants to say whatever he wants to say, if he wants to, swear, cuss you, whatever it is that he wants to say about you, negative things about you, those are the receipts he's leaving online. There's tons of receipts. Anybody who has half a brain, looks this guy up, looks at the things that he says, you can see there's tons of receipts of, the negative things that he said, and the toxic things that he says about the mother of his own children, of his own daughters, which doesn't make any sense to me. But of course, he's getting some support. But what he doesn't realize is, I feel like the support he has versus the support you have, Cora, is his supporters are, they're not genuine supporters. They want something from him. A lot of them, from what I'm seeing, are from parts of the world where they're hoping that, okay, now that Cora is out of the way, maybe they could be the new girlfriend slash wife. Maybe they can get a visa to come to America. Like they want something. It's not genuine. It's not just an unconditional, like love for him. It's not just like a genuine, yes, we are supporting you type of thing. It's a very, and even if it's not that they want something, I'm also noticing a lot of, um, what do you call it? A lot of, a position of like thinking that he's superior because he's white. So then he must be right. You know the saying, white is right? I feel like a lot of the people that are supporting him just believe him solely because of the color of his skin, which is obviously a privilege that a lot of white people do have in bad situations. I have gone through a horrible situation myself with my now husband, um, where even though he was in the wrong for it, a lot of people ended up just looking at me like, because we don't get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. And when we get emotional and we express our emotion, and say, because we're wronged and we are human beings, but a lot of people don't see us or allow us to be human beings. As soon as you show your emotion and that you're not pleased with something, they judge you for it. They judge you for it and actually blame you that, oh, you must be, acting this way because there's something wrong with you. Where, somebody literally just did something to piss you off. So this is the kind of world we live in, and we really need to understand that as Black women, and that playing the game, the same game, playing this game, on the same level he is, like, um, going down to his level and playing the game of, okay, I'm going to expose everything, I'm going to tell everybody everything. It won't benefit you because you're a different demographic. You're looked at different by the world. He could literally go online and cry for 2 minutes and, oh, boo hoo hoo hoo, Cora did this, Cora did that. And people will believe him simply because of the color of his skin. But if you come online and you cry, everybody's gonna be like, yo, you're greedy. You want money, you want this, you want that. You don't want, I know you don't want money. You're a self-sufficient woman, you're taking care of your kids. If anything, he wants money from what I'm seeing, because really, what money was he making? What money was he making during COVID and all the, let's just be real. I don't need to see anyone's bank accounts to know who was making money in that relationship, right? And I applaud you for even moving out of that place and just leaving me there, because now he has to struggle and figure it out by himself. He's a grown man anyway. He should be figuring it out by himself. But I feel like, just don't stoop down to his level. He wants to pull you down. I'm pretty sure he sees your social media all the time. I'm pretty sure he sees you happy, living your life with your kids, doing your dancing and all that, and just being the vibrant human being that you are, the inspiration that you are. And he sees that every day. And I think it just pains him to see that. And he wants to fight from you. He wants to fight because as long as you are fighting him energetically, you are, your energy is lowered. Okay, you're energetically in a lower vibration, where now you are moving, in his what do you call it, I guess, how the energy, the type of energy he lives in, of just resentment and just, not being happy with himself, not being happy with anything, and just wanting to fight. I know people like that. Trust me. I'm a Black woman, and one of the disadvantages sometimes of dating, white men specifically, is that they have a complex. Some of them have a really bad complex, and Hollywood has done them a great disservice of making them believe that they are, you know, Captain America, the Captain America of the world. They're the heroes of the world. So they can do no wrong. They're the ones that save the day. So when they hook up with someone of color, you might even be in a better position than them, but then they just automatically think that they've done you a favor. They always think they've done you some kind of a favor being with you. They just have that Superman, Captain America complex. It's just something that they've just been raised and brought up with. And it takes a lot to for them to even recognize that. It takes a lot of work. And from my experience of dating white men, that's always the one thing that ended our relationships, because I was just like, I can't be in a relationship with someone who's looking down at me and, like, okay, you're Superman, then I'm just the damsel in distress that needs to be rescued by you. No, I have my own things going on. And even in my current marriage, there were elements of that too. But I'm just glad that the person I'm with now is willing to work through things. He's willing to work through this marriage and make it work and challenge himself and challenge those biases and those, complexes that he was raised with. So that's the only reason why we're still here, why this ring is even still on. Otherwise, I can't, it's a very hard thing to deal with. This white man complex is a very, very difficult thing for us Black women to deal with. And it exists, it's there. And this is what makes them feel entitled to us, our bodies, our things, to possess us, because it's their history. It's all a part of their history, right? Their forefathers were enslaving our people. It's a part of their history, it's a part of their psyche. We are all, people think it's just Black people that are traumatized from this past, this racist past. Everybody's traumatized. Everybody has psychologically scarred by this racist past that we lived. And white people are scarred in their own different way, where you have people like him who are narcissistic, this Superman, Captain American mindset or mentality. You have Karens, who think that similar. It's very similar. It's just, different genders, but the Karens are pretty much the same. They might not have a hero mentality specifically, but they do have an entitlement, right? Where they feel like they're entitled to all the spaces in the world. If they see black spaces, they feel entitled to enter black spaces and be allowed to enter black spaces to say, things that are particularly just within our culture, the cultural appropriation. They're allowed to use their privilege to put us in a very bad situation, like when they call the cops on someone for jogging down the street and stuff like that. So we, all of humanity is traumatized and scarred by the racist past that our ancestors, our forefathers, their forefathers created, and that our ancestors lived. Nobody's free of this. Even if they try to ignore it and just be like it's a Black people problem, it's not a Black people problem. This is a human problem, and it affects people today in every single aspect of their life, especially in interracial relationships. That's when it comes out the most. So I just wanted to encourage anyone who's in going through a really messy divorce, and especially if it's public, don't stoop down to the other person's level. I know it feels gratifying. It does feel gratifying in the moment because you are hurt. You are really hurt, and I understand that. And you want to lash out and be like, no, I'm gonna fight you back. Obviously, someone pushes you, want to push back. Obviously, it's fight or flight, and you're gonna get into fight because you've been doing flight for a long time, just avoiding the situation, and then you're realizing that it's not working for you, so you want to do fight. You want to fight back. But I just want to encourage you, let the lawyers and let the judge do their job. Okay, there is enough dirt on this man that anyone with 2 cents, who's not trying to get an American visa, who doesn't have some some self-hate complex and thinking that, oh, because he's white he must be right. If he says that he didn't abuse you, then he didn't abuse you. It is clear. Listen, I have been through an abusive relation multiple abusive relationships in the past. I already saw the signs of abuse way back before you guys even got divorced, and even after you got divorced, the way he was behaving, I could tell he is an abusive man. Anyone with common sense, anyone who has experienced abuse can tell. But a lot of people have their blinders on. They have their, oh, he's a white man, blinders on, and a lot of us, I'm just gonna say, I don't want to generalize, but sometimes I have to, because it is common a lot in in Africa, basically African people. Some African people are still mentally colonized so deep that they just believe the white man. It has to, you have to be the problem. The black woman has to be the problem. So as black women, we're not just wrestling or fighting against the stereotypes and the stigma and the backlash from the white community not giving us any benefit of the doubt and carrying us, and I'm gonna call it Justining because that's what he's doing, you know. But carrying us or justing us, we also have to deal with our own community and the scarring that they have where they can't even appreciate and see the struggle that their fellow, sister is going through, because they're so blinded by the color of this man's skin or what they think he might have to offer them, or that they just don't see it, and they're willing to blame you and say, no, this guy's perfect, he's an amazing husband, look at him, it must be you must be the problem. What woman with 2 children, after giving birth, less than a month, just a week after giving birth, what woman with 2 children would up and get out and leave her husband? That's when you need your partner the most. That's when you need your support. You need your stability. You need to be in your home. You need to nest. I know. My son is 1. He's 12, let's see, 14 months now. 14 months, and I still am nesting. I am still nesting. I still need the stability to raise my children. I have 2 children just like you, Cora, but they're both boys. But I still need an environment that is stable and consistent. Even though my oldest is 4 and my youngest is 1. So what more? What more for you? You have a 2-year-old and you have I believe a 1.5, 2-month old. Of course, you would no one in their right senses would get up, and no mother would get up and uproot themselves out of their nest and go try to build a whole new nest right in the middle of all of that after you've just delivered. It's just not plausible to me. It's not plausible. And to me, you seem like a very reasonable person who puts your children first. So I know for sure there is something that was going on. There was some financial abuse there. I can tell because I've been in situations where financial abuse. There's financial abuse going on. There's emotional, definitely a lot of emotional abuse going on. I can't speak for physical abuse because I don't have proof of that. I can't see it, but I can definitely see the emotional abuse, and I can see the financial abuse was there and is still there, because he currently just stole $5,000 from you of your rent money and the money. He's not even thinking, how are you going to feed these children? That he's not paying any child support or anything to support them. All he wants to do is see, look at them, look at them. I know men like that. I know men like that very well. Okay. Very, very well. And just don't stoop down to their level. I know you threatened him, you not threatened, but you kind of gave him uh um I don't want to use the word threaten, but you kind of told him that, if he doesn't give it back by tomorrow morning, and I know you want your money back, if he doesn't give it back by tomorrow morning, you're gonna air everything out. But I'm just saying, we are there. You have a lot of positive supporters. I read through the comments. You have a lot of amazing positive supporters, and I guarantee you can make that $5,000 back very quickly. You can make that $5,000 back, and for those supporters that are watching this, let's help her, whatever we can do. Let's come together, in the comments, and figure out what we can do to help this lady, because it's just not right. Single parenting, single mothering is hard. Mothering on its own is stressful, very, very stressful. But once you're a single parent, I can't, guys, I can't not, I could have not seen, I was here to do a live just about my own personal, my channel, or my page is just, my own family vlog type thing. I just happened to run into her live, and it's just like shattered me, because I'm like, that is just vile. That is absolutely vile what this man did. Just vile. It did not need to go there. He didn't need to go there. Okay, you're upset, whatever. You think you're entitled to some kind of money compensation for the work you put into, building her brand or whatever. That's fine. Go to court about it. Let the courts settle it. But don't take the money if she accidentally put it there, it's money that she's going to need, obviously, right? It's, and she's the one who's primarily taking care of the children. So it's a very selfish move, a very selfish move. But I can already see that he's a very selfish person. I can see that from time. He's a very selfish person. And I would argue, if he ever got a psych evaluation, he would be borderline or even completely narcissistic, from just what I'm seeing. And just from my experience of being in abusive relationships, he is financially abusive, he's emotionally abusive, and he has some serious, if he's not narcissistic, he has some serious, serious selfish issues. And that's just what I have to say about that. Um, but I really, really hope that you get your money back. And the good thing is, you have a lot of supporters who can help you get it back quickly, hopefully. And I hope that everybody's going to work together to make this happen. And I know it's not some scam, it's not some ploy to make money. It's not. Like, this is your job. So why would you wouldn't create that kind of situation to further tarnish your reputation even more, when somebody, your ex, is doing that already every single day. So I know that it's genuine. I can tell, I can sense. I'm an empath. I can sense when people are telling the truth. I can tell, I can sense when people are lying. I can sense all those things. And I really believe that there is something very wrong with this man. Something very wrong with this man. And I believe that even his support system was already biased against you to begin with, because you are a Black woman. They were already biased against you, and they might be encouraging him based on their own biases, not realizing that he is sick and he needs help. Like, he needs to go seek some professional help. I'm not going to be afraid to say that. But I really, really want to encourage you, please, tomorrow morning, do not um air out everything that's happened. I know a lot of people will encourage you to do it because it's going to be good entertainment for them, but this is your life. This is your life. It's not entertainment, okay? I mean, if people want to be entertained, they can go watch your dancing. You're an amazing, talented woman. They can buy one of your books. I bought your children's book just recently. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, there's so many ways people can get entertained. We don't need to be entertained by people's pain. That is disgusting. Like, where have we, as humanity, where are we going? Where are we going with this? Even this Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, when I see, those court cases just pop up on my Facebook feeds and whatever, I just take it off, because I'm like, I don't want to be entertained by people's pain and misery and their struggle and the things that they went through, right? For most of us, it's obvious who the aggressor was in that situation, and it's the same. People are not stupid. We are intuitive people, and we know, and we've experienced life. And those of us who have life experience, No, when we see an abuser, we know it. We know it. And I can tell you right now, I could already tell that Justin is abusive. He is abusive, no doubt. Anybody wants to argue about that, that's your business. But I can tell I've been in abusive relationships and I can tell the patterns of abuse. This man is abusive. And he's also financially, other than emotionally, he's financially abusive. And he just proved it today. Not that I ever doubted it before. I already knew it and I could see it from before. But girl, oh my gosh, mama, you have two kids to take care of. And I empathize with you to depth, the depth of my soul. Like I can't tell you enough how much I empathize with you. It's just not right. It's not right what he's doing. And anybody with sense can tell that this is not right. Let the courts deal with him. He will get what is coming to him. I am telling you, he will get what is coming to him. Just don't give him ammunition anymore. Don't give him anything that he can take to the court, any videos, and say, oh, look at what she's doing. She's trying to tarnish my name. She's trying to do this. She's lying or she's whatever. Don't. Just keep sending your lawyers the proof that you have. If you need to make a police report, that is a report that you can even submit in the courts as well after you make a police report that you did report this theft. Because that's what it is, it's theft. Because it's not anything you can't say, oh, because you're technically still married, half is half or whatever. You're going through a separation and it hasn't been determined by the courts who gets what and how much of what, you know, is being given to who. So he can't make that decision. He's not the judge. He can't just decide, okay, I'm just going to take the money, right? So keep those records. I would, above and beyond giving the proof to your lawyers, I really encourage you to at least try to make a police report. If it comes to nothing, then that's okay. But try to make a police report and have a copy of that report and also submit that to your lawyer so that it's just there, right? Anyways, I've just been going on about this for a while. I have to go because my kids are going to wake up soon. My infant is going to wake up soon for some feeding or a change or whatever. So I am going to go, but I want to just, I don't think I can stress that enough. Don't let him drag you down to his level. This is exactly what he wants. Exactly what he wants. So then he can be like, yeah, you see, I am better than her. I'm the better person. No, he's not. He's not fooling anybody except for people that have some racial inferiority complex that think that because he's white, he's right. And or people that really are looking, you know, to be the next Mrs. Justin Dean and be brought on a visa to America, like it's petty. It's just petty. It's superficial. But that's none of your business. Don't worry about that anyway. It's none of your business. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Silence is still golden. He will pay in the long run. He's going to get his just deserves. And there's way more people that are behind you hoping for that and putting that energy out for you than there are people that are against you. There's way more. So it will happen. We are going to speak life into this. You will get exactly what you need out of this whole divorce thing, and he will get his just deserves. I promise you that. Anyways, my baby's gonna wake up, so whoever's joining, thanks for joining. I'm gonna go watch this live again, and I'll catch you guys another day. Take care. Remember that you're loved, you're amazing, you're special, you're valid, and just just do you, keeping the authentic person, an inspirational and amazing person that you are, whatever gift that you have that you were born with, keep showcasing that and being amazing. All right, people, bye.